Presence of the world's most esteemed player there, Diego Maradona, the man who cajoled his team to World Cup success in Mexico 3 years ago. Other survivors from that side include defenders Ruggeri and Brown, goalkeeper Pompidou, and Burachega, scorer of the winning goal in the '86 World Cup final. He's now back in the Argentina side after a long-term injury. Well, Brazil's coach, Lazzaroni, has been able to call on many of the players currently operating in Europe. Among them, the Benfica pair, Ricardo and Valdo. But Correca, who's had such an outstanding season for Napoli in Italy, he's out injured. Bebeto scored 3 of Brazil's goals in the first round matches, and he'll play up front with Romario. So let's look then at the results from the earlier round matches. There we have Brazil's Venezuela. They beat 3-1. Then 2 goalless draws, Peru and Colombia. And finally success by 2-0 in their last game against Paraguay. Although in fairness to Paraguay, they did field an experimental side for that game. Argentina, they beat Chile by 1-0. Ecuador and Uruguay, goalless draw with Ecuador. Then they beat Uruguay 1-0. And finally a goalless draw against Bolivia. Welcome back to the Maracana Stadium, and as you can see, the second match is just underway. Brazil in possession here, and of course their famous yellow and blue, and they're kicking from right to left as we look out. Argentina in blue and white stripes. There's the familiar figure of Maradona you may just have caught in the picture there. And the atmosphere now absolutely electrifying here in the Maracana. And Brazil straight on the attack, roared on by this huge crowd. They certainly found their voices now. It's a game between 2 of the world's leading nations. And the next few days may well offer a pointer or two as to how serious a challenge they might pose on the world stage in Italy next year. Argentina already there as defending champions. Brazil have still to qualify. Branco for Brazil. And Argentina will want to take the heat out of the early attacks from Brazil. A lot of smoke around the stadium from firecrackers that have been going off. Clausen was number 9. Here's Diego Maradona, wearing, of course, inevitably number 10. Clausen. 4 here is Batista, who played in the '86 World Cup final team. Ricardo for Brazil. They brought back some of their European-based players, have Brazil, and so indeed have Argentina. Here's Branco, plays for Porto in Portugal. Bebeto. The foul on Bebeto. So a free kick to Brazil. And we've seen down the years what specialists they are from set pieces. Branco can certainly blast the ball in from this kind of range. Maradona on a 2-man wall there. So it looks as if Branco might well try one from here. He certainly bent it just past the post. It only needed a touch too from 2 or 3 players coming in. Alder, number 14, among those arriving, converging on the goalkeeper, and the ball just curled away and around the post. Pompidou, goalkeeper for Argentina now, as he was in the '86 World Cup final. Calderon. Argentina, winners of their group. Brazil, second in theirs. The attack easily broken up. In fact, the whistle has gone. Free kick to Argentina. Given away. Clausen, though, winning it back for them. Calderon. Some fairly heated exchanges in the opening minutes. Certainly it's a volatile atmosphere. Another free kick to Argentina. Now, what will Maradona try here? The master of the set piece. Batista. And Brazil coming away, albeit rather tentatively. Here's Branco now, experienced defender. Played in Mexico in '86. Chaga, Maradona. You can rest assured he'll be very tightly marked indeed, Maradona. Generally regarded as the greatest player in the world. Clausen. Free kick to Argentina, taken by Ruggeri, another of the survivors from the '86 final. Argentina have had a bit of a lean time in international matches over the last year or so, but really that was without their European-based stars, or players who played in other countries anyway. And when they all come together, they seem to turn it on again. Some good tidy work at the back though from Ricardo. Brazil without Careca, Maradona's teammate at Napoli in Italy. Careca injured at the moment, so is Jorginho. So they've got two most influential players missing. But some new names around to delight the fans, the likes of Bebeto and Romario, who's had an excellent time with PSV in Holland. Romario number 11 for Brazil. This is Marzinho. Batista cutting it out. Maradona. But already the pace decidedly quicker than the first game, at least in the early stages. Valdo. Here's Branco. Clausen held him off, and the referee decides there's no infringement by either player, or perhaps one by each of them, cancel each other out. And here come Argentina with Troglio. Maradona, such a gifted player, just turned the ball away there with ease from his marker. His close control is quite extraordinary. Whistles and jeers from the Brazilian fans. And Argentina just trying to cool things down and settle into the game. Here's Batista. Ruggeri. Batista again, that long flowing hair. I remember so well from the '86 final in Mexico. And Argentina went on to beat West Germany by 3-2. Chaga, who's in the Argentine side today, getting the winning goal. This is Valdo, who was in the '86 squad for Brazil, but was the only member of the squad not actually to play in a game. Silas, number 20. 14 there is Alder. Here's Branco. Brazil spreading the play around. Dunga, another of the Italian-based players. Is Alder. Alder continued his run through the middle. Crowded out. Roar of anticipation from the crowd. But Argentina defensively feeling fairly comfortably at the moment. Batista to Clausen. Just looking through the Argentine side, Caniggia has been left out, at least from the starting lineup. Very much a danger man up front. And they seem to use him as a substitute, Argentina. And it's paid off once or twice, bringing him on. So perhaps we'll see him later in the game. Valdo. Dunga. Romario. Chaga to Batista. Another foul. The game certainly has started at a cracking pace. Frangelio, the player brought down then. Maradona. No foul this time. Valdo spreading it wide. Marzinho. And the combination with Valdo to no avail. Maradona just slipped for a moment then, quickly regained his footing. Batista. Number 3 there is Basvaldo. Batista to Maradona. It's Maradona again. The man who lifted the World Cup trophy for Argentina back in '86. Batista. Argentina beginning to settle into their stride now. Maradona again. Silas, number 20. He was around in '86. Alder. Now for Branco. He's got some space to work in here. Silas. Valdo. To Branco. Down goes Branco. Fouled by Batista. Free kick to Brazil. part of a very hectic schedule for Brazil, as well as hosting this tournament. They've had a European tour they've only just completed. And of course they have World Cup games coming up too. Dunga with the shot. You can call it that. I don't think he'd be too proud of it. But Dunga, who plays for Fiorentina in Italy, has been very impressive in Italian football. And has settled well there. And that's been the case too with Careca at Napoli. Napoli, who with Diego Maradona leading them, have won the UEFA Cup for the first time. And Alemão, a third player from the Napoli side, is in the Brazilian squad but not in the starting lineup. Alemão, you may remember from the Mexico squad, the Brazilian squad that played in Mexico. Marzinho, very determined defender. Silas. Branco, how deftly he controlled that ball there. Almost without thinking. They are such instinctive players, the Brazilians. Lovely to watch. Here's Valdo. Now Dunga. Not afraid to try his luck from distance is Dunga. Now Branco. A positive opening by both sides. Silas. And here's Maradona. Argentina will be hoping for stroke of genius from the little man, which he certainly provided on many occasions during that exciting run to the World Cup success 3 years ago. I remember in particular Maradona's performance in the semi-final when he scored both goals against Belgium and was simply devastating that day, and it was a joy and a pleasure to be in the stadium watching him. Aldair. Again, a free kick to Brazil. Unbeaten in their group games. They won 2 and drew 2. Bebeto scored 3 goals in those qualifying games. And Bebeto and Romario playing up front in preference to Baltazar. He's had a tremendous season in Spain. So whether he'll get his chance later on remains to be seen, but Baltazar not making the starting lineup. Calderon. Easily cut out though. Here's Silas. Marzinho. Valdo taking over. Cross was harmless. Pompidou and his resplendent jumper. Untroubled. Batista. This is Clausen. And number 5 there, Jose Luis Brown, who scored in the World Cup final back in '86. They brought him back. Brown, who plays for Murcia, one of the teams just relegated from the Spanish league, the Spanish First Division that is. No apparent sign of him moving on, but he hasn't had that successful a time there, Brown, in Spain. Here's the free kick then for Argentina. For anyone just tuning in, this is the second game. No goals as yet. Second game in the final group of matches. in the America Cup. First game finishing in a 3-0 win for Uruguay over Paraguay. Basvaldo, beaten though by Valdo. But the decision given in Argentina's favour by the linesman down on the near side here. Klaassen to take the throw. Klaassen from the Sion club in Switzerland. Borushaga. He's denied and off goes Silas. Valdo sprinting down the middle. Valdo's challenge rather timid. And Argentina can build now with Maradona, who has the strength to hold off so many challenges. Batista. This is Borushaga. Dunga getting through some defensive duties. Tafarel's throw, finding Malzinho. Bebeto. Here's Dunga. Now Branco. Both sides finding defences hard to break down. Silas. Brazilians play the ball around so elegantly, but they don't always find a path to goal. And it's Argentina now in possession with Klaassen. Calderon. Rather easily beaten though by Ricardo, and then Branco also getting the better of Calderon. Here's Ricardo from Benfica, Portugal, the new Portuguese champions. Valdo is also a member of that side. Round about the halfway point in the first half. No goals as yet. A lot of activity out there. Long shot. Oh, Pompidou just held on at the second attempt. The ball cracked it by Dunga, who shows he can hit the ball with either foot with a great deal of power. Seen him crack a bit with his left too. Branco. That's excited the crowd now. Thread it through. Bebeto appeals for a penalty. Not given. Bebeto felt he was fouled. The referee thought otherwise. Bebeto wriggling through onto that pass. And that, says the referee, was a fair tackle. And I reckon he was right too. That one wasn't. That's going to be a yellow card. The lunging tackle from Ricardo. And the referee really with no option but to issue the yellow card. Troglio went past him, or at least tried to. Well, the referee will want to get on with the game, but at the same time, Troglio is quite heavily tackled then, and may well need some treatment before he can continue. Ricardo there making little attempt to play the ball. Argentina have a free kick, and Ricardo has a yellow card. The Argentinian bench, I think, wanting to know if Troglio is able to carry on, or whether we'll have to think about a substitution. Well, looks as if he's going to carry on at the moment anyway. Caparel, Brazilian goalkeeper, and they reckon he's the best they've had for some time. Taken over really from Carlos, who was the World Cup keeper in '86. Here's Dunga, who minutes ago certainly tested Pompidou at the other end. Romario, Branco, Mauro Galvão, this is Marzinho. Troglio again looking to take on the opposition, and 3 or 4 times now he's been brought down. So he's clearly causing concern to the Brazilians. They're not afraid to go at defenders. Batista. Clausen. Here's Maradona. One of those delicate little chips that he produces. And they can be so lethal. So far, Brazil will feel they've kept a reasonably tight grip on Maradona. A lovely flick from him there. But he's such a good player, Maradona, you just can't tie him down completely, however hard you try. One moment of magic from him, and you can find yourself a goal down. Batista. Burruchaga. Maradona. A few hearts skipped a beat then among the Brazilian fans as Maradona was lurking around the penalty area. Dunga, cut out there by Calderon, beaten then by Branco. And a shove by Batista. He felt his challenge was a fair one. Branco. Obstruction, I would think, if anything there, really. And Pompidou issuing instructions to that defensive wall. And the Brazilians so adept at producing the unusual from free kicks. Some of the great names of Brazilian football down the years have scored from this range. Garrincha, Pelé himself, of course, Gerson, Junior, Bebeto is there, and Valdo. Here's Bebeto. Oh, lovely save by Pompidou. Bebeto extended him fully then. And acrobatics from the Argentine goalkeeper, Pompidou. Here's the corner. Brazil so nearly taking the lead. Silas. They won't miss shots like that. Pompidou, who plays for Real Betis in Spain, and in fact was late joining the Argentine party because he'd stayed on to help save them from relegation unsuccessfully. Pompidou now 33. Still the first choice goalkeeper for Argentina. Klaassen. Branco fouling him. Valdo stopped the free kick from being taken too quickly, which rather held up Argentina. Here's Chaga. Klaassen. Almost half an hour gone in the first half. An absorbing struggle between these two giants of South American football. Basualdo. Cut out though by Mauro Galvão, who seems to have established a niche for himself at the back, alongside Ricardo. Dunga. Here's Silas. Brazil with a lot of players supporting this attack. The shot there was well wide from Alder. Argentina with wins over Chile and Uruguay in their qualifying group, with goalless draws against Ecuador and Bolivia. So they've scored only 2 goals and they haven't conceded any yet in the America Cup. And they have Pompidou to thank for that record being intact so far in this game. Brazil threatening to take control. One of the Argentine players, Batista, I think, writhing in agony. I think there was any question of a foul. As you can see there, he just took the full weight of that attempted shot or cross, whatever. And that hurt. So on come the trainers. We can see again that clearly winded Batista. Silas, the Brazilian there. And they've come on with a stretcher. I don't think he's going to need that. But Batista showing no sign at the moment of being able to resume. And the attempted cross from Silas, catching him fully in the stomach then. So a throw to Brazil. Batista is now back in the game. And here's Ricardo for Brazil. Alder. Good turn by Silas. Terrific skill at times from both teams. Both hoping to make an impact in the World Cup finals next year. Brazil have got a bit of a tricky qualifying group to come through. They've got Venezuela and Chile, although their win over Venezuela in the qualifying group of this competition will certainly have enhanced their prospects. Here's Branco. And they're finding Argentina a hard nut to crack. Branco. having a good first half. Silas. Calderon for Argentina. And if they can break with the speed that we saw from Uruguay on the counter-attack, then they'll certainly pose problems. But Dunga wins it back again for Brazil, and off they come again. The crowd urging them on. Silas. Bebeto's pulled into the middle. Bebeto didn't quite get there. Good covering by Setsini. Silas had time to weigh up the options. Pompidou wasn't going to get there, and luckily for him, Setsini did. But a corner to Brazil. Valdo to take the kick. Branco. Did well to pull the cross back then. And the shot over the bar. Good play by Branco initially. And the ball hit fairly well wide. Ten minutes of the first half remaining. It's Brazil 0, Argentina 0. And this, the second game in the final round of matches in the America Cup. Branco for Brazil. They've only conceded one goal in the competition so far, that against Venezuela. Argentina haven't so far caused much to worry them. Batista and Maradona organising the free kick. Here's Maradona. Neat combination with Burruchaga. Now bringing Klaassen into the play. Klaassen. I don't think any question of a foul. Strong tackle, certainly, but Klaassen appears to be badly injured. And the referee, I think, terribly interested. Throw to Brazil. Taken by Branco. Klaassen's tackle on Valdo. Klaassen having made a rather swift recovery. Branco. This is Dunga. Mauro Galvão. Has Valdo in support. He's held back then by Batista. He was a very determined tackler, but rather too determined then for the referee's liking. Ricardo. Dunga Neat turn then by Valdo. Here's Branco. And off Klaassen. Just over 5 minutes of the first half to go. It's still Brazil 0, Argentina 0. Brazil have certainly come closest to scoring. Valdo with the corner. And the header easily saved by Pompidou. Given away to Dunga. Romario goes down. And no referee surely is going to give a penalty for that. Romario optimistic, to put it mildly. No chance of getting there. And out of that picture, he tumbled to the ground rather dramatically. Basualdo. Dunga. Here's Ricardo. Mauro Galvão. Marzinho. Silas has gone outside him. Marzinho was impeded. And the game rather stuttering at times, with the referee having to stop the game for infringements. As we near half time, no goals as yet. Most of the attacking from Brazil is denied by Pompidou and their own inferior shooting at times. But here's Branco now. The Argentinians defending grimly. With a lot of resolution. Maradona. Chaga. Been out of the game for a long time through injury. Chaga plays for Nantes in France. But now that he's fully recovered, Carlos Bilardo was anxious to restore him to the Argentine side. Foul by Branco. Free kick taken by Klaassen. 3 minutes of the first half to go. Looking for the moment as if it's going to finish goalless. Brown for Argentina. Chaga. Maradona, no chance of reaching that one. Calderon, get harried and chased by Silas. Did well then, Calderon. Here's Basualdo. Maradona, always available, but he's given it away to Dunga. Romario. Valdo with Silas. Signs of disapproval from the Brazilian fans, but a free kick to Argentina. Klaassen. Argentina can contain Brazil. Quite happy, I think, to go in at half-time with the score still goalless. Klassen. We're now into the last minute of the first half. Branco was beaten. In goes Maradona. And Borushaga failing to keep the ball in play. Mauro Galvão. We're now into time added on for stoppages. 1 or 2 injuries in the first half. Alder. Marcinho's cross, but comfortably through to Pompidou. And the Brazilian fire has dwindled just a little bit in the last few minutes of the first half. So their coach, Lazzaroni, will have some lifting to do for them at half-time too. Maradona. Well, he wanted the free kick then, Maradona. It wasn't given. And Ricardo, rather sloppily, has given the ball back to Argentina. Maradona, he's seen Borushaga going down the middle here. Maradona taking the throw quickly. That's a foul. Only seconds of the half to go. Sensini was the player fouled. Borushaga will take the free kick. Is there time for Argentina to snatch a goal right on the stroke of half-time? Batista. Is Borushaga. Now Maradona. Little chip from him. But there in fact is the whistle for half-time. A half that Brazil have dominated perhaps in terms of attacking play, but they haven't managed to find a goal. Some excellent goalkeeping from Pompidou. Bebeto in particular denied. And Argentina really not pressing on too many occasions at the other end. So that's how it stands then at half-time in this second match. In the final series, it's Argentina 0, Brazil 0. We'll be back after that scoreline suggests. This one is certainly very close indeed. And just to show you the teams, which we weren't able to do at the start of the game, that's the Argentina lineup. Jose Luis Brown in the side there, one of the survivors from '86, Ruggeri too, Borushaga, Batista, Calderon, number 7, a fairly, well, I'm not say a newcomer in the side, but he's come back into the team recently, and of course Maradona, number 10. Here's the Brazil side. Tafarel established now as the number 1 goalkeeper. 1 or 2 new faces. And of course they've brought back the players from Europe. Dunga, Branco, Ricardo, Silas, Valdo, Romario. He's played in the PSV Eindhoven side that's won the Dutch Championship. But no Careca. Faced with Napoli along with Maradona. He's still out through injury, and so is Jorginho. Another player that I'm sure they would hope to have played. And Baltazar, top scorer in the Spanish league with 35 goals. He's not made the starting lineup. It's Jose Luis Brown there. Just to remind you about the matches still coming up. And that's the next day of games. Argentina against Uruguay on July the 14th. And Paraguay against Brazil. That's the second stage in this final series of matches for the America Cup, and the holders Uruguay from 1987. So the Brazilian team now coming out. Certainly had their moments in the first half. Branco, who had a fine first 45 minutes. And the referee then preparing to start the second half. The referee, Cardinello of Uruguay. So the second half then about to get underway. And I wonder what Carlos Bilardo and Sebastião Lazzaroni, the Brazilian coach, have had to say to their charges at half-time. No sign as yet I can see of any substitutes. But certainly there's a wealth of talent on the two benches, hoping to get their chance in the second half. Argentina now then kicking from right to left. And the pace of the first half much faster than the previous game, Uruguay and Paraguay. A rather more cautious affair, that one. I wonder if the tempo will remain the same in the second half here. Certainly Uruguay stepped up a gear late on in that game against Paraguay, finishing with a 3-0 win. Aldier. Free kick. Foul by Sensini. And there the Argentine substitutes just warming up. Among them Caniggia. Valdo here for Brazil. Trying to set himself up for the shot still, Valdo. But then ran into a wall of Argentine defenders. And they have defended with a great deal of purpose so far, Argentina. Throw to Brazil. Using these games to step up their preparations for the World Cup qualifying matches. Hoping to get the formula right before then. They take on Venezuela at the end of this month. Bebeto appealing for handball. Protests are in vain. Valdo. Branco now. Still Branco. The cross wasn't cleared. And a goal! A goal for Brazil. Bebeto. Silas with the cross in. It's touched back to Bebeto, and how about that for a finish? It's his fourth goal in these America Cup matches, and Bebeto rapidly turning into a new Brazilian hero. Plays for the Flamengo club in Brazil. He didn't take part in the European tour because Flamengo were involved in domestic matches, and that's a terrific strike by Bebeto. There is talk of a move to Germany with Bayern Munich, I gather, for Bebeto. And certainly he looks An outstanding young player. So the crowd celebrate, and Brazil, 4 minutes into the second half, have taken the lead here. And I wonder if that's going to change Argentina's approach. They've been reasonably content to sit back, soak up some pressure from Brazil, hope to catch them on the break themselves. Now they might just have to come out a little bit more. Here's Maradona. He'll certainly have some positive ideas now. Great atmosphere around the stadium. Calderon. Ball hit in the corner. Calderon here, as I was saying earlier on, not a newcomer because he played in the side a few years ago, but out of favour until recently. Calderon looking for Maradona, who was in the penalty area. Calderon hasn't yet got away from Marzinho. He did in the end. With the covering defender, Mauro Galvão. And the Brazilian crowd in great heart now. The goal from Bebeto has them leading Argentina by a goal to nil. Bebeto, who scored against Paraguay and Venezuela. 2 against Paraguay. And now he's got a 4th one here against Argentina. And he'll treasure that one for a long time. Here's Dunga. Bebeto, one of the stars of the Brazilian Junior World Cup winning side of a little while back. Free kick to Brazil. Here's Romario. Such a well-balanced player. Marzinho. Mauro Galvão from Botafogo. And I wonder, will Brazil turn on the style in the second half, or will Argentina come back? It's an intriguing prospect here. The first blood to Brazil. Branco. Silas. Bebeto, the goal scorer. Dunga's pass then. And Pompidou has to come swiftly out of his 6-yard area. But well beaten by the shot from Bebeto. Oswaldo. Batista. Calderon. A useful looking cross in. But Brazil again setting off on an upfield excursion. Free kick to Argentina. Firecrackers exploding all around the stadium. And the atmosphere indeed itself very explosive. Brazil leading, but only by the 1 goal from Bebeto. And Argentina, a side packed with talented players, and more so of course than Maradona. who's rather drifted in and out of the game. Some great little touches from him, but nothing yet that's created any real damage. Batista's pass. The way back to goal, to the goalkeeper, was blocked. Here's Bebeto. His every move roared and cheered by the crowd. Silas. Promising move. The referee waving play on. The Argentinians thought they might have had a free kick then. Silas. Didn't fall for Romario. It might now. Here's Romario. It's two. Well, he kept going, and his persistence paid off. Rather sloppy defensive play by Argentina. Left them exposed. And Romario nipped in. It was Brown who made a mess of the clearance. Pompidou was struggling then, and Romario, with a lovely piece of skill, makes it 2-0 to Brazil. 10 minutes into the second half. Brown with a dreadful miss kick. Pompidou mistimed his challenge too, and Romario finishes it off. So the little man who plays his club football in Holland has given his side now the cushion of a 2-goal lead. Basualdo for Argentina. Have they the resilience to come back? We've got a corner now. But Brazil on the rampage again. Silas has gone out to the left. Franco. No foul. Maradona, and Argentina need some inspiration from him now. Caniggia is now on for Argentina. Amidst all the activity of the goal and the excitement of the goal, Argentina quickly brought him on, and Caniggia is quite a handful up front. He's got 2 goals in this competition so far. Plays for Verona in Italy. So he's on now then for Argentina, who are 2 goals down. Franco with a cross, but behind for the goal kick. But Argentina, who must have felt fairly comfortable at half-time, having coped with Brazil in the first 45 minutes, but now they're 2 down. 2 goals in 10 minutes of the second half. It's a real test of character now then for Argentina. Romario, scorer of the second goal. In fact, Romario, as we're just seeing there another substitution, but I was just going to say about Romario, he finished top goal scorer in Holland, 19 goals, and he only joined them well into the season, PSV Eindhoven. So that'll give you an idea of the outstanding time that he's had. Maradona. Ruggeri. Giusti is the substitute who's come on. Which I think threw all the commentators for a moment, because their squad only goes up to 20 and Giusti came on with number 21 on. But we can safely tell you that it is Giusti, who again was around in '86. Maradona is going to take this free kick for Argentina. And by his standards, that was very poor. And here's Silas now on the charge for Brazil. Some concern, I'm sure, among the Brazilian fans that Careca wasn't fit to play in this game. But Bebeto and Romario have answered the call with two splendid goals, and Brazil in control for the moment of this game by 2-0. Indeed, there's quite a fight going on up front for the places in the Brazil side, when you think that, as well as Careca, they have Baltazar, top goal scorer in the Spanish league, and one or two others playing in Brazilian club football who've been staking a claim. Charles of Bahia is one of them. So there's a lot of talent competing for a couple of places. Bebeto, certainly making a name for himself. He's got the free kick here. Turned into a posse of defenders, and he was brought down. So there's more work for Pompidou and the Argentine defence now. Branco and Dunga are there, and Silas, and any one of them might try something from here. Valdo there too. Just look at the wall there they're facing. Branco firing it into the crowd. The Argentines must have had 6 or 7 in that wall. Branco unable to hit the target, unless he was aiming for someone in the crowd. Hopefully they're just celebrating. It's certainly been at times an exhilarating Brazilian performance. The ball hasn't come back, but it has now. Moments of sheer class from Brazil, and they lead 2-0. Maradona. Dunga threading the ball through. Ruggeri collecting again for Argentina. We've got a lot of work to do if they're to turn this game around. Klaassen to Batista. The two number 9s together, and Klaassen tumbling into Valdo, but no offence there. And Carlos Bilardo must be a rather worried man at the moment. The Argentine coach who inspired them to the '86 World Cup success, but seeing his team in trouble here. Branco. Almost slipped into the path of Bebeto then. Caniggia shrugged off the ball though by Ricardo. Mazinho for Brazil. Almost at the halfway point in the second half. And no sign yet of Brazil losing their grip on this game. And the Olays now ringing around the ground for the Brazilian fans. Brazil just happy to retain possession. And Argentina can't get the ball off them. Although Brazil aren't exactly making much progress. But nothing would give them a greater lift than to beat their old enemies here. In this, the second game in the final group of matches in the America Cup. Given away by Maradona. He's having a pretty frustrating time now. Romario. Here he is again. Fouled by Basualdo. The other way round, says the referee. Fair enough. Maradona. Had a lot of problems with a back injury, Maradona, but doesn't seem to be struggling with that today. Brazil, who in fact have only won the America Cup, the South American Championship, on 3 occasions, and the last of those was 40 years ago. Seems a rather strange statistic when you consider their standing in world football. Argentina, on the other hand, have won it 9 times. And they have now to face a free kick. It's a fair way out this time. Whether Branco might try one, or Dunga here. Dunga. Oof. It almost crept in. A fierce shot then from Dunga. The wall, only a 2-man wall, couldn't stop it. Hit venomously then by Dunga and just past the post. So Argentina still in it, 2-0 down. But they've really got to do something more positive at the other end if they're to transform this game. Placid throw, Caniggia. Taking on Branco, unsuccessfully. Branco with some neat skill. Here's Valdo. And Argentina could be stretched again now. Mazinho. Silas. Alder. All rather easy for Brazil at this stage. And Argentina looking decidedly forlorn. Branco. Justi. Batista for Argentina. Now Maradona. And off Bebeto for a throw to Argentina. The world champions from '86, winners also in 78. On home territory then, of course. And hoping to defend the trophy successfully in Italy next year, but on this showing today, they certainly don't look as capable as the side of 86. Caniggia. And that's got to be a goal kick. Well, I think the referee's given the corner, and the linesman there is in a better position than I am. I thought that came off Caniggia then. The linesman indicates a corner. So a chance for Argentina to get themselves back in the game. Caniggia. Wanted too long though. Valdo comes away for Brazil. Ruggeri. Maradona. Couldn't find Basualdo. Here's Valdo. A lot of the Brazilian players will look back on this game today with satisfaction after their performances. Plenty of places at stake in the Brazilian side. Romario. Oh, that's superb skill from him. Can he finish it off? Oh, what a goal that would have been from Romario. I reckon he's just about the most skillful player around in Brazilian football now. And that was underlined then. Just admire here his control. Brilliant. And if only he could have steered that one in, that would have been a classic goal. Romario, scorer of one of those two Brazilian goals. Bebeto with the other. Brazil leading here by 2-0. For any latecomers among you, there's just over 15 minutes left. Both goals coming at the start of the second half. And this following a 3-0 win for Uruguay over Paraguay in the opening match in this final series of games in the America Cup. Marzinho. Valdo finding Dunga. Here's Bebeto. Now Silas. Nothing on this time. They're playing with a lot of confidence, Brazil. And you certainly wouldn't rule out further goals from them. Touched off by Bebeto. The game not far away this time from Silas. And as ever, the Brazilians not afraid to shoot from long range. Renato was number 18 there, warming up on the sidelines. Renato from Roma in Italy. And in the past, players who have gone to play abroad have fallen out of favour with Brazilian management. Lazzaroni has brought a few of them back. And it certainly has added credibility to their hopes of winning the World Cup next year. That competition to be held in Italy, of course, and the European experience that these players have picked up won't do them any harm at all. Dunga, Correca, Alamau, they're playing in Italy. Maradona with Batista. Caniggia wrestling with Mauro Galvão, who gets the better of him. He claims his shirt was tugged. The arguments go on. But one Cardellino deciding that the only decision there is going to be, well, I was going to say a throw to Argentina, but in fact the yellow card has now been produced. The arguments went too far. And a substitution, Romario is going off. So they're going to keep him, hold him back for the next one. Renato coming on. Silas has also gone off. In fact, it's a corner, not a throw to Argentina. Alamao, the man on the ball here, now on then for Brazil. And Renato, so two players who I was mentioning there, play for clubs in Italy, are now joining the action here. Renato of Roma, Alamao of Napoli. Alamao, who's had a long spell out with hepatitis, he came back towards the end of the season for Napoli and played a major role in their success in winning the UEFA Cup. Renato, on the other hand, had a bit of a disappointing time with Roma. Here's Marzinho. Goal kick to Argentina, who are 13 minutes away from losing their first game in the final series. And it certainly doesn't appear at this stage that they can do much about it. Been outplayed really by Brazil. And two superbly taken goals dividing the teams. Chaparral, who's had relatively little to do. Marzinho, Batista, now Maradona, couldn't shake off his marker, but he was fouled in the process. Maradona will take the free kick himself. And Maradona won't thank me for reminding him that he hasn't scored, in fact, for Argentina since March of last year. Throw to Brazil. Dunga. Just over 10 minutes left. Alamao. Alder. Still Brazil dominant, really. And little suggestion of Argentina turning the game around. Mauro Galvão. Up goes Renato. Got a fair bit to prove, Renato. He'll be anxious to impress in these last few minutes. He's sent tumbling to the ground. I don't think the foul was quite as bad as Renato made it appear, but he was certainly obstructed. So free kick Alamao will take it for Brazil. Over the bar. Alder climbed high enough, but couldn't direct his header onto Pompidou's goal. Alder, who's come into the Brazilian defence and given a fair display too. A lot of competition for places in the Brazilian side. And Lazzaroni, the coach, I think will be rather pleased with what he's seen today from the players that he's selected so far. Batista. Brown. Again, they've been hesitant at the back, and they could be made to pay for this. Renato. Wasn't the ideal service, really. Defence was by Justi. Dunga taking the free kick. Very positive signs today that Brazil are developing once again into a force to be reckoned with in world terms. Here's Renato. One or two disappointing performances on their European tour, but Brazil by no means at full strength on that tour. Indeed, the side that I saw against Denmark bears very little resemblance to this one. And they were trounced by Denmark on that occasion. Maradona for Argentina. But even he can't inspire his team at the moment, try as he might. Tafarel has been virtually unemployed in the Brazilian goal. That's been the strength of Brazil's performance and the weakness of Argentina's. Basualdo. Just over 5 minutes left. It's still Brazil 2, Argentina 0. Alamao. Dunga. He's had a good match, Dunga. Bebeto denied this time. Marzinho for Brazil. A lot of the crowd now are beginning to stream away out of the stadium. I think they feel this game is over, and it certainly is looking that way. Brazil 2-0 up and looking in command. Marzinho. Here's Renato. Is this 3? Dwelt on the ball too long. Maradona. I think the crowd then rising in anticipation of a third goal as Renato seemed to create the space for himself but couldn't complete the job. Down goes Maradona. Free kick taken quickly. Here's Maradona again. No foul by Alamao. Marzinho for Brazil. Going into the last 5 minutes, very satisfying performance from Brazil. Here's Alamao, still looking for further goals. Renato. Franco, Alamao. Here's Valdo. Mazinho. Well, I've no idea what he was attempting then. As he acknowledges. And the crowd look on in disbelief at that shot then from Mazinho. Relief though for Pompidou. But he's been beaten twice, and that surely is going to be enough to earn Brazil victory in this, the second game in the final series of matches in the America Cup 1989. Osvaldo missing out. Is Batista. But once they've got anywhere near the Brazilian penalty area, all the cohesion seems to have gone from Argentina. And they've lacked any potency up front. Remember, just 2 goals from their group games. They only conceded 2, but clearly there's a lack of firepower up front. And that's been demonstrated today. Foul on Valdo. Free kick taken by Alamao. And the game finishing rather tamely now. Brazil so much on top. The flags are flying. The drums are beating. And they're heading surely for a win now here against Argentina. Just spraying the ball around with so much ease now, Brazil, and Argentina don't appear to have the heart to chase them. Every pass cheered by the crowd. Mazinho, here's Valdo. Renato waiting in the middle. Didn't control it though. Plenty of time from Mauro Galvão. Ricardo. They've looked strong at the back, Brazil, inventive in midfield. And they certainly had the finishing power too. For Argentina, it's back to the drawing board, chaps. Maradona. Maradona just skipping past the tackle. Just over a minute now to go. Mazinho. It's a stroll now for Brazil. Mauro Galvão, once deserting his defensive duties, to join in the attacks, which are coming from all angles now. Bebeto. Is this going to be a third? Stopped by Brown. Justi. But Argentina, as an attacking force, have been virtually non-existent, particularly in the second half. Valdo to Marzinho. Now into the last few seconds of the game. And what a cheering game it's been for Lazzaroni, the Brazilian coach. Only took over a few months ago with an 18-month contract to hopefully bring his team to the forefront of world football again. And by winning the America Cup, they wouldn't be off to a bad start. But Uruguay, so comfortable winners in the end of that first game, will have other ideas, although Brazil on their own ground will be favourites. They've got a corner now. We're into injury time. Here's the corner. One last attack perhaps from Brazil here. Bebeto. Alamao. Harmlessly over the bar. And the referee about to end the proceedings here at the end of this first day of matches in the final rounds of the America Cup. Down now to the last four. And that is the end of this one. And Brazil have won this one with a flourish, really. 2-0, both the goals coming at the start of the second half. Bebeto with the first one, and then Romario, another delightful piece of skill, making it 2. And Argentina really offering very little to suggest in this game that they might have turned it round in any way. So Brazil go marching on to the next round, the next day of matches, having won by 2-0. And there is the table. Uruguay